All right. I'm just, trying to figure this out.
I know, I know. It's so exciting.
Seeing
I'm
if I
so
do like
excited.
that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Great. Now, let's see. Oh,
I always tell them about your sukkah, how it has many rooms. You're the example I give of a Meshuggah
oh,
sukkah.
oh, really? Oh, thank you.
Look
Thank
who we
you.
have, a special guest. This is my friend Rocky, who's all the way in Israel. Remember the friend I tell you about who has a giant sukkah and he actually does sleep in it and he doesn't mess around like the rest of us and he has like bedrooms and stuff? This is the guy and he can give us a tour of his sukkah. Rocky, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and then show us around your sukkah?
I don't know really what to say about myself. I've been around for a few years. Uh, I teach. Sometimes I teach. Also Jewish subjects, Halakha, Gemara, ethics, Hashkafa, all these different types of things. I also, once upon a time, I even taught some various different universities, technical subjects like computer engineering, things like that. For fun, I work with the Israeli Police Department, and I put on a police uniform, give out tickets, and do stuff like that, like a regular person that's in the police. I also go around with a lot of different groups, showing them Israel and taking them around, explaining some of the different things that there are here. So I guess that's basically who I am in short. We have a very, very large family here, lots of kids, lots of grandchildren. So that's what we are.
Can I ask how you know you and Mrs. Rushfield know each other?
Does it not seem obvious?
Yeah. So we came together through Shorish. Is the Shorish group, which is in Maryland, comes to Israel every few years, and when they come here, I'm with them from the beginning to the end of the trip. And so we met on one of those trips, and we kind of been sort of friends for a long time, I guess now, right?
Sort of friend. Rocky is like a rock star. He's amazing. He was our security guard, but he's like the chillest guy who you can just hang out with and chat with all day, all night. It doesn't matter. He never sleeps. He never eats. He just does Rocky. Does anyone have a bigger sukkah than you?
Oh, sure. I'm sure that people that have bigger sukkahs. Not too many, but there are bigger sukkahs, and certainly places that have like a shul or a yeshiva. They have very, very large sukkahs that can hold hundreds of people. But we have something of a slightly unique sukkah because our sukkah has not only a main room where we have tables which we can eat and a bedroom. So this year we have the main room and 3 bedrooms. Sometimes we have 4 bedrooms, depending on what's going on. We don't actually have a TV because we don't even have a TV anywhere, but we do have the computer in the sukkah, and I have my phones in the sukkah. And basically, at the beginning of the Sukkot holiday, I move in, and I don't really go out much out of the sukkah. I go to the refrigerator in the house to get something to drink or some food every once in a while, and that's about it. I stay in here all day. Because of the lockdown, because of COVID, we're not davening in the shul. So I'm davening in the sukkah. I'm praying in the sukkah. I study in the sukkah, and I sleep in the sukkah. So basically, I do just about everything. And I have the computer in the sukkah. I also do some work from the sukkah. So it's kind of like home for at least a week. It's pretty much its home. So
do you want to show us? Can you show us all around your sukkah?
when we come into the front door of the sukkah, so you see there's a fairly large room, okay? When we first come in, we have another curtain here, and behind this curtain is a bedroom. In this bedroom, which you can't really see, you see that little line, that white line there, that is a bed,
A bed.
okay? And there, in there, but anyway, this is a one bedroom, okay? Whereas on the other side of the front door, so we have another bedroom. Yeah, there you can see some beds in there. This bedroom has 3 beds in it and also has a couple chairs in here, okay? And now the main room here right now has a very unique feature, which you may not find in any other sukkah. Definitely if you find it in another sukkah, it's only from this year. And that is, you see that what looks like a lot of plastic here, okay? This plastic area is a quarantine room, okay? You see here, there's all plastic here inside the sukkah because one of my grandsons was in quarantine. And so in order to give him an opportunity also to be in the sukkah, we actually built within the sukkah a quarantine room, okay? He is now out of quarantine, but we just, I don't know, we haven't gotten around to taking down the thing. Now this large room here right now, there are 3 tables set up in the room. This room is actually large enough that there can be 4, 5 tables easily. We can put even more than that. We've had up to about 50 people sitting down for a meal in this room, okay? And the idea is to have a living room that you don't have to take apart to put the beds in. That's why we have the bedrooms on the side. Along the walls, we have decorations which were made by various different grandchildren. The walls, you see, are wood. Normally, we have on top of the wood, we actually have white cloth on there, and we have more decorations. But this year we weren't able to do that because the ones who take care of the decorations are my granddaughters and daughters, and because of the COVID, they weren't allowed to come up here. So we have bare minimum decorations. One of the posters that everybody in the family really likes is this poster here, which is really just a collection. I'm going to move in a little bit closer. A collection of many, many different pictures of sukkahs throughout the many years that we have built sukkahs. And this is a collection of all these various different sukkahs that we have. It's like a historical board. And everybody likes to look at them and marvel at how many different versions of the sukkah we've had. Right? But in fact, you can see we've had a few times when we have fairly large groups of people. This picture here, for instance, we had 40 yeshiva fellows come one meal for Sukkot, and this is part of the group of yeshiva boys that are there. So it's quite a large room. Like any good sukkah, we do have where we were lighting candles for the first night of sukkah, right? And of course, we have, as any good sukkah should have, we have pictures of some of the very, very big rabbis. These are all rabbis that some of them are no longer living, but these are all rabbis that I've had a very close relationship to. And of course, what would a sukkah be if it didn't have an esrog and a lulav? Of course, they're here. Then behind this, here we have my special little room, which has a window. It actually has a window here curtains are upside down because the person who put up the curtains didn't know that sailboats are supposed to be with the sails up and the water underneath them. But it is a window, right? And like any other bedroom, has a bed, also has a folding lounge chair, and we have, you can't see real well here, is we do have a extender, a pulpit, which we use for praying, and it also opens up, and it's really nice to in front of. There's a pull-out desk, so we can sit and learn. And you see, we have regular office-type chairs in here, pillows, tablecloths. This is basically home for the week, and so we try and put in there everything we need. We have our bookcase with all sorts of things in there. Also inside of my pulpit there's also a bookshelf in there which also has other books. So this is what we have on. If you want to see the roof, the stock, right? So the stock, we have these large beams running across the roof in a few different places, and we have tons and tons of little bamboo things all over, and it's really a ton of them because again, it's a fairly large sukkah, and this is the sukkah standing from my room looking out towards the front of the sukkah. Directly ahead on the right-hand side is the quarantine room and the large bedroom. That's one of my sons who just walked in, and one of my other sons, and a little granddaughter floating around there on the bottom. And so this is the sukkah.
That is so cool. You know what? Hashtag Sukkah goals.
Sukkah is also a very special place, and it's supposed to also, aside from being like a house, it's also supposed to have a certain holiness about it, like you would have in a shul, and that is because the rabbis talk about two different things that a sukkah stands for. One thing is that a sukkah stands for the actual little sukkahs that Bnei Israel were in the 40 years they were in the desert after they left Egypt until they came into Israel. That's one concept. This is an actual sukkah. The other thing is that the sukkah is like what's called the Ananei Kavod. You know, there were special clouds that took Klal Yisrael through the desert. And those clouds totally surrounded them and made sure that there were no snakes, no scorpions, no nasty things along the way, and basically carried them through the desert. So because the sukkah that we build is also like the real sukkahs that they were in, and also because it's like these special clouds that Hashem sent, so because of that, we don't have things like restrooms in the sukkah, and whenever we have garbage in the sukkah, we try and take it out quickly. We don't just keep a lot of garbage and trash cans in the sukkah. But outside of that, we use the sukkah like a house. Okay?
Thank you so much for joining us. Our class is almost over.
Thank you, Rocky. This was lovely.
I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure.
Bye, Samach.
Bye, Rocky.